in the background.
I know, it's like just get the old glow stick.
Stop it. Yeah, that's so funny.
Oh, what a glorious morning. We'll just wait for Joe to come on and say something. She always pops up and goes, "Yeah, your stupid music's on." Anyway, I'm going to give that a stop.
It's done. Yeah.
Good morning. Good morning. How's everyone going? Good morning to the newly married lady that's sitting next to me here today. I know. She's got a ring on it.
I got two, actually. I got two on it.
Wow, you got three as well. Now you got the suffering as well, eh?
Oh, stop it.
I know.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
It's not with me.
He's been suffering for a very long time. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Salo. If you haven't clicked the restream button above our heads, please do so we can see who is saying good morning. There's a couple of newbies on there that don't know who they are, so it's hard for me to directly say good morning to you if I do not see your face. But yeah, let us know how you're doing. What a wonderful day today, mate.
It is.
Yeah. Have you had a good morning so far? Or?
Yeah, well, my morning kind of just started with hopping up, and I actually woke up a little bit later this morning, and I'm like, oh my God.
On purpose or?
No, by accident.
Okay.
And I was like, I need to get up. I need to get up and get on this call.
Yeah, nice. That was fun.
No, it's good. It's been a good morning. How's your morning been?
Excellent. Wednesday is gym day, so
I was about to say you get up super, super early.
Yeah, I was up at like 4:45 this morning, I think. We went as soon as we could. So Rose yeah, she loves going to the gym really early, and it's the only time we go to the gym, I think, Wednesday and Saturday together, which is cool. I enjoy it. It's good fun, even though we're at opposite ends of the room, and it's still
you're still there together.
Yeah, it's really nice to have that time while the kids are sorting themselves out in the morning for
school.
Yeah,
it's the benefit of them getting that bit older, isn't it? You know, like
a bit more self-sufficient.
Yeah, I just couldn't think of, like, right now, I couldn't think of the day that comes where, like, I just leave my kids in charge.
Yeah, it's totally
so weird. And, you know, like, what's an acceptable age these days? Like, what is that? When we were younger, like, we grew up in the country, so
yeah,
a bit different.
Like two.
No.
She's by the age of 3, hey mate. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, it's there's no such thing as acceptable age. I think it's just based on their level of responsibility and maturity. Yeah. So I think your kids would be probably at least 20. Anyway, yeah, no, it's good. It's fun. It's fun. I don't mind it. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Ash. Good morning, Lauren. Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Amy again. Good morning, all the other people on TikTok and Instagram and whoever else. And let's hope that we don't get some YouTube quality today with our old mate, the Bomb Maker. So hopefully he doesn't turn up. But if he does, I welcome you, Bomb Maker, because it was a funny conversation last time.
Very excited, wasn't it?
Yeah. So all these people, Facebook users, please, above my head it says chat.restream.io/Facebook. Please, can you click on there? Can you click on there so we can see your beautiful face? We should get straight into it, I think. Leslie's popped up something here. How do I build my ass back up? It's gone as flat as a pancake, and I can't remember the second. Okay, she has got 2 questions. All right, how do I build my ass back up? All right, so I think we covered this a couple of weeks ago, Leslie. If you want to target your bootay, we need to get you a bootay routine. I would suggest putting aside 1 to 2 days a week specifically targeted to your ass, if that's what you want to work on. But also look at your diet. You cannot grow huge muscles like your glutes and your hammies and your quads are big muscles without eating enough protein and
Leslie's in a really good position here because she's upping her calories and she's like getting in the gym and she's super consistent. The next couple of months for her is going to be super, super exciting, especially because she's going to build muscle in the booty.
That's pretty good. Yeah, so how do you build it? We will specifically give you some targeted exercises. I do think we have a posterior program in there specifically targeted. It might be in Elite. We'll have to check it out. But but definitely we'll find something for you, Leslie, to make sure you target it. So I would dedicate 2 days a week. If you want to build that ass, I would be doing 2 days a week worth of ass training. Specifically targeted. And
plenty of protein. Yeah.
So we'll definitely look up for you, mate, and look out for you. Excuse me, I'm starting to choke on my own voice. Yeah, great question, Leslie. So hopefully that helps you out, mate. And the second question, whenever you get it, just send it through and we can answer it. And everybody else out there, like what Leslie did, if you can chuck your questions into the chat somewhere and let us know if you've got some live questions you want answered that are to do with health and wellness. Like, I don't want to give you finance advice because I can't.
Don't take my advice.
That's not something I'm going to go start providing on. But and marriage advice, just don't do it would be the best advice. No.
Advice.
Dear. All right. So the first question we had come through was spot reduction. I hear a lot about this. Is it a real thing? So let's be specific. What do they mean by spot reduction? Spot reduction of fat, I'm guessing. Can you spot reduce fat on your body? The simple answer is no. No. You can do muscle targeted exercises to increase the mass of that area, whether it's your abs, your back, your legs, whatever. Most people have excess fat around their ass, their legs, their belly. But can you spot reduce that fat? You definitely cannot. There are things out there that are electronically capable of increasing blood cell counts and things like that, but do they spot reduce fat? No, they don't. They're a gimmick in my eyes. So nutrition, number one, is your biggest thing that you can do to spot reduce anything, because we just want to get in a calorie deficit so we can lose some weight. All right. So spot reducing means you've got excess amount of fat in some area.
And when you're in a calorie deficit, you're going to lose weight all over.
Yeah.
Some people lose weight to start with in their face. Some lose it in their legs. Some lose it in their stomachs. Like everywhere, everyone's so different of where they start to lose weight as well.
Yeah.
If you're consistent, you're going to lose fat all over.
That's correct. Yeah. So it's an absolute myth. You cannot spot reduce fat. Okay. It just doesn't happen. When you're in a calorie deficit, your body loses weight all over. There are hard areas to lose weight on for men and women. They're always usually different. Ladies, it's usually this part. It's usually around the hips and the ass, right? Men, it's the same with us, usually the chin. The man boobs, if we don't do enough exercises on our chest and around our hips as well, that's probably my weak point. But if I want to reduce my fat in my body, I've got to go into a deficit. Pretty much it. Consistency, patience, gym training, get your steps up, like all those things. That's going to provide your deficit to be even further, which is really good. But a balanced approach to anything in life is the best way. Just get in the deficit and you'll start seeing some results. If you want to get down to a really small body fat percentage, you're going to really have to dial in on your calories and go even further down. And even sometimes we'll have to break up your macros into a perfect proportion so your carbs are a bit lower, so you can reduce that fat. But yeah, you cannot spot reduce fat. It is an absolute myth. Okay.
Love it.
Cool. Next question was, excuse me, I'll just pop it in and then chuck it up. How accurate are body composition scales that you can buy from malls or online stores? Very inaccurate or inaccurate.
I think with anything like this, the accuracy when you're buying things like that from the shop, it's always going to be questionable.
Yeah, you cannot beat the old school or the old-fashioned scales with the counterweights on the edge. They're probably the best way because that's what they're designed for. Anything that has to use input by a human, as in your metric, your data, if you do your wrong height and your wrong waist measurements and anything like that, it can alter the result you're going to get. It's the same as your step counters. They're not 100% accurate. It's the same as your heart rate monitors on your wrists. They're not 100% accurate. Nothing can be 100% accurate. Yeah, it's a guide. So your I think the new scales measure your hydration in your skin and things like that to give you different determination. So if you're overheating or like there's so many variables that could fuck up the result. So the question is how accurate? They're not 100% accurate. They would vary between 30 to 70%, I reckon, in my eyes. Are they a good option? Yeah, they're cool. They're a gimmick. I feel like that they fluctuate too much, but also, are we focusing too much on our weight? And just go into the measurements instead. So yeah, if you want to
go on, keeping track of your body composition, it's better off going to the doctors and getting a proper scan done. They're still not going to be 100% accurate, but they're going to be much more accurate than the ones that you get from the shops.
Yeah. So if you're looking at pure body composition, which what the question said, with these scales, it won't give you an accurate response. If you want to measure your body fat percentage accurately, you're going to have to go to a radiology place and get a DEXA scan, a DEXA, which was, I looked it up, dual energy X-ray absorptiometry.
Well,
there you go. I wanted to know what it was in case someone asked me, but yeah. So basically, you lie on a flat bed, and this radiography machine goes over top and scans your entire body and gives you a percentage of your fat versus your bone density versus your muscle density versus your everything else in your body, your fat composition as well. So if you want to get one because you want to be accurate, cool, go get a DEXA scan. Costs you about $150. It's not something you need to do, but for me, go and feel, go on measurements rather than looking at these composition scales. If you want to buy one, go ahead and do it, but they're not accurate.
Take your photos.
Yeah.
If you want body composition change, that is the best way, I reckon.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that because we did have something come through where there was someone that was a bit hesitant and putting photos up to start off their journey, and I totally understand how confronting it is. You know what? Like everybody that takes their first before photo is confronted by what they see in the mirror because you don't look at yourself in that way every day. Like you really don't. And then it's a massive shock when you actually look at your composition.
Well, I've said this to you before. Sometimes it's the kick in the face that we need.
It is.
To get started and just stop making excuses and just draw the line in the sand and go, you know what, this is my time to really just stop what I'm doing and be better and do better. And it's confronting. Yeah, it is super confronting.
Yeah, it's a line in the sand moment for most people, and it's hard to look at. It really is, but that's your reference point for the future. So if you can get your photos done and your measurements done, and you can be consistent with your nutrition and your water and your sleep and all that, like you'll see results, and then you'll realize the importance of these photos. And like I totally get everybody has different views on this, and there's some people are triggered by it, but we cannot measure your results any other way than a photo and a tape measure and a scale. Like that's the only way we can really measure. Well, your happiness we can, obviously, but that's not showing you true indication of your weight loss, which is what the goals are in life. So yeah, if you want to get one of those $150 scales and waste your money, go for your life. Just go get the old school, the old fashioned ones. They're probably the most accurate for what you need. Cool. Do you lose fat while you're sleeping while on certain supplements? So are we talking, when we say certain supplements, are we talking fat burners? I'm guessing. Like, do you lose fat while you sleep? Yeah, you do. Right.
I was just about to say, like, that's not like a absolute myth.
No, it's not.
I think there's a massive misconception, and I will be the first to put my hand up and say I was super, super guilty of the thought of like, if I just sleep more, I'm going to lose heaps of weight. And whilst, you do lose more, you burn more fat whilst you're asleep.
Yeah.
Really not that much of a difference that you're going to notice it. And if you're not in a calorie deficit, you're not going to burn enough fat in your sleep to lose weight. And certain supplements, look, I don't really know too much about the supplement sides of it, like fat burners and stuff, but do they work? I don't know. Have I tried them? No. Do I need to? No.
Yeah. No, the fat burner supplements are really good for athletes that want to lose that 0.1% body fat to get down to show competitive level, right? That's the importance of fat burners for people. They're marketed to the overweight because people think that this is a silver bullet for them to lose weight really quickly. So in my eyes, fat burners are a waste of money. You'll piss out more of it than you actually absorb. Their sole role is to increase your body core temperature, so you heat up a little bit more and you burn a little bit more fat off. I'm not a big fan of them, to be honest.
Sleep isn't gonna. I don't think is going to have a massive benefit though. Like it's not going to do anything drastic to make you lose 10 kilos after.
No. So they may be an aid in weight loss, but they do not replace the need for a balanced diet and exercise. Okay, you can't outrun a bad diet. You can't. So you cannot get
outsleep a bad diet.
You can't outsleep a bad diet, but it does help increase your metabolism. It does help with resting heart rate. It does help with a lot of things. You actually burn more fat with a slower heart rate than you do with a higher one. So, yeah. Do you lose during sleep? Yep, you do. If you use supplements during sleep, will it enhance it? It won't be enough to even notice. Yeah. But you've just got to go back to what's a sustainable way of living rather than quick fixes. For me, it's get your nutrition right, get your steps in every single day, which is your best form of cardio, low heart rate, hit the gym 3 to 4 days a week, get some good sleep, increase your water intake. And if you ever want to do supplements, for me, buyer beware, get some advice from your doctor or get a blood test before and after just to see if it's not fucking up your system, because I had incidents with it once and I'll never take anything like that again. So that's my view on
stop wasting your money on it. Like honestly, for the average person, they're expensive. They're not cheap. Like any of the performance enhancers, like the pre-workouts and all that, they're very expensive. The fat burners, they're expensive because they're marketed for people that would pay anything to lose the weight, really.
Yeah.
But it's a waste of money. I think
it is.
Waste. Yeah.
The only supplement you need is, if you want a pre-workout, would be caffeine. That's my favorite thing. I don't mind if you do take pre-workouts, but get the ones without the massive buzz, the
very strong ones that make
most of them are just coffee and a few other amino acids and stuff chucked in to make them look nice and pretty. There's nothing wrong with having them, but you really are pissing most of it out. So next one was, if I miss my meals during the day, will I get the same results if I cram all my food and calories within a few hours of whatever time I get to eat or decide to eat? That is a really cool question because it's very relevant to a lot of us these days, because time is our biggest enemy, right?
Yeah.
Time is our biggest enemy. But time is also something we use as an excuse. Oh, I don't have time. Oh, I'm too busy for this. Oh, I'm too busy for that, blah, blah, blah. But you've got to make the time, right? You've got to make my time. Now, meal timing matters less than overall daily calorie intake or weekly intake and nutrient intake, okay? So if you only have 3 hours to eat of a day and you can eat 1,600 or 1,800 calories in that time, no problem. But it's not
going to be hard. It's going to be hard to do that.
It's really difficult to fit that much in 3 hours. But it won't affect anything at all. It's your daily calorie intake, right? Daily meaning from start to finish, not from 12 to 2 or anything like that.
Your day starts at 10 o'clock at night and finishes at 10 o'clock in the morning. That's still a day.
Yeah, correct.
People get really hung up on, but I can't eat past this time. I can't eat meat past this time. I shouldn't have red meat at dinner, or, we need to have this at breakfast.
Yeah.
It really just doesn't matter. Your body doesn't know, oh, it's 10 o'clock right now.
Yeah, correct.
I mean, it does because you get tired, but other than that, if you're putting food in your mouth at 12 o'clock at night, it doesn't matter that it's 12 o'clock at night.
Correct. Yeah, 100%. So cramming in your calories, if that's what you need to do, that's fine as long as you get your calorie target. Okay, I don't have a problem with it. If you have only got 3 hour window to eat all your calories, cool, and you can do it, great. What matters more is how much you eat per day.
Yeah.
Or how much you eat per week, I guess, because if you can adjust your calories on the fly, one day have 1,500, another day have 1,700 and average it out. But yeah, the question is, if you miss your meals, do you get the same results if you cram all your food within a few hours? Yeah, you will. 100% if it's within your calorie intake, if it's within your protein intake. The question there is, most people that don't get all their meals in during the day, or they skip lunch because they're busy or whatever reason, tend to snack more, because they might have a big dinner, and then they may be at 5 o'clock, and then they get hungry after that because they haven't had all their calories, and that's when they go to the fridge and the cupboard and start raiding the nasties. So your likelihood you're going to fuck your metabolism up a little bit. If you have consistent eating patterns, it does support your metabolism, but it also supports your energy levels for the day, because then you're fueling your body constantly, right? For me, I need to have I've had my breakfast after the gym. I've expended fuel, so I need fuel back in so I can last till lunchtime. Then I'll eat again so I can last till mid-afternoon. If you're consistently fueling your body, the likely is your metabolism is going to be on par, and your energy levels are going to be really cool. So you'll find that if you're not eating all your meals and you're cramming it at the end, your energy levels are going to be absolutely fucked, because you haven't got carbs in your system to burn off doing whatever type of work you do during the day.
Someone that binge eats as well, if you're having that big binge at the end of the day,
yeah,
you're going to be hungry by, say, 12 o'clock the next day. And then, like I said, you're reaching for those quick, shitty snacks that are just going to get you through to the afternoon.
Yeah.
And then you're having that big binge again. I don't think you're really sort of creating that healthy relationship with food.
Definitely not. Yeah.
Is there anything wrong with it? No. But there is a downfall to it, I think, as well. And I think personally, it's the relationship with food of like, I couldn't imagine sitting there eating 1,800 calories in one hit. That it would be very, very difficult to do. And I could imagine over a period of time that would create a very bad relationship with food.
Yeah.
A very bad mentality towards food.
Definitely. I think I'd like to sum it up with this sentence. If you can focus on balanced meals throughout the day at set time frames, the likelihood you will have a sustained amount of energy during the day. You'll be able to perform really well in whatever task you're doing, but you also feel heaps better. And I guarantee you'll probably sleep better too if you don't fill yourself up at 7 o'clock with 1,600 calories and you feel like you're absolute fat shit because your guts are about to explode, and you're probably going to shit yourself because you've just chucked in all this fiber and protein in 3-hour brackets. So you want to be consistent. Like, so for your digestive system and to be consistently going to the toilet and getting the right amount of nutrients, sustained balanced meals throughout the day will help you feel a lot more energized and you'll be able to perform better. So makes sense. Excellent. Sorry, I missed this one. How important is it to keep your heart rate up or get a sweat while working out? How important?
I don't think it's that important, really.
Yeah, go. You hit it.
Yeah, I think it depends on what you're trying to achieve. If it's just the average person that's in the gym wanting to lose a bit of weight and build some muscle, I don't think it's important at all. If you are someone that sweats a lot and you do get a sweat up, great. If you're someone that doesn't sweat a lot and you don't get a sweat up, great. When it comes to weightlifting and losing fat with weightlifting, it's not about your heart rate. Obviously, you know a bit more about the heart rate side of it when it comes to endurance with the running and cycling. That's a bit different. The training side of things there when it comes to your heart rate and stuff. But for the average person, I don't think that it's important at all. Yeah. And it doesn't determine how much weight you're losing with how high your heart rate's up. It doesn't determine how much weight you're losing with how much you sweat at all.
Definitely. No, it doesn't directly correlate with calorie burn or fitness gains or fitness levels. We'll talk about average mums and dads that want to lose 10 kilos. If you don't sweat during a weight session, it doesn't mean your weight session was absolutely shit. It just means your body temperature was regulated. It might have been the aircon at the gym was on, or it's a cold morning and you're wearing the right amount of clothing. But it's not an indicator of whether or not your workout was worth it or not. To me, it's whether or not you can get your rate of perceived effort on every set. Can you hit 10 reps? If you can't, or you're hitting 15 when you're supposed to hit 10, well, your weights are too light. So up your weights and then feel like that. That's, to me, is a determining factor of whether or not my workout is good. Okay. Variation in your workouts, increasing your strength and your flexibility over time will determine whether or not your body sweats. Like sweat's just a body's natural way of cooling the skin down, right, when we overheat.
And interesting enough, so when I first started lifting weights, I found that I did sweat so much more than what I do now. It's like my body's actually adapted to, like I'm still obviously lifting heavier weights and I'm much fitter now, but it's like my body's adapted to the exercise that I'm doing. And like, again, I was much more unfit when I first started, but I was sweating much more than what I do now. So, and for everyone that could be different. They might start lifting weights and not sweat at all, and now they're quite fit and they do sweat. Yeah. So it's just individual preferences as well.
Sure is. It sure is. But yeah, we just got to remember, if you're not excessively sweating, it doesn't mean you work out shit. It just means you've regulated your core temperature really well. And there's variant factors in your fitness levels increased, or the temperature's different, or you've had plenty of water, you've hydrated your body. So many different things can govern it. But do not use sweat as an indicator of good or bad workout. To me, it's rate of perceived effort. Can I get the reps out? Am I smacking the weights? Am I upping my weights? Am I consistent? Consistency in regular exercise will trump heart rate or level of sweat any day of the week for me. Okay. Julie sent in a question that says, there was chatter some years ago about eating too many eggs. Is there any truth in this these days? I think it had to do with cholesterol. So the one thing I do know about eggs is they are very high in saturated fats. So that's something we're going to have to be aware of if we consume too many eggs. But like, I don't know too many people that eat, 30 eggs a day. I think,
stay away if you do.
Yeah. There's good cholesterol, bad cholesterol, all the rest of that stuff. For me, it's moderation in anything, mate. I would rather get my protein source from various things because I don't want to eat eggs all day. I would rather have maybe 3 eggs in for breakfast or lunch, and then have, maybe fucking chicken or tofu or pork or something else as my other sources of protein during the day as well. I like a bit of variation. So yeah, there is high amounts of saturated fats in eggs, but there's good cholesterol, bad cholesterol. Just moderation, mate. But I'm guessing that if you ate too many eggs a day, there would be some adverse side effects to your kidneys. And
yeah. Like most people aren't going to eat that many eggs every single day, are they? Like, yeah, it's just not possible.
It's possible, but I don't think it's right.
Not enough eggs to actually make a huge impact on your health in a bad way.
Yeah, I guess it also. Yeah, and I think it's important in your body composition as well, right? Maybe you digest things a lot quicker, or if you're a muscle builder and you've got excessive amount of fuel that you need to burn off, it might be better to have 12 eggs a day or something. But yeah, definitely with anything, there is good cholesterol, bad cholesterol, and saturated fats in eggs. So we just got to be mindful of that, because it can have adverse effects on our kidneys and stuff. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense for you. Is the Sheik watching today? Carly said no, the Sheik is not watching today. He must be out selling some things that he made. All right, what is gratitude and why is it important? What is gratitude?
You love this, don't you?
And why is it important? I think if you can't appreciate the positive aspects in life, you need to change the way you live. If you're a negative Nelly or a Vanessa victim,
victim. Wow.
I know. Yeah. If you're a negative Nelly or a Vanessa victim, or someone that's just sees the bad things in life. Shit happens, I get it. But for me, gratitude has been one of the most important things that has made me a better person in life, simply by loving and realizing the small things that happen, like, my morning coffee, or getting up of the day, or getting a workout in, or seeing the kids, grow and blossom, or just getting a hug from my wife. Like, those little small things that we don't appreciate, those little small things that we just don't appreciate. And we overlook because we're too busy focused on the negative shit in our life. Like, why do magazines and newspapers and news companies promote bad shit? Because it gets views, it gets attention, right?
It's so funny, it's something that I never realized was actually a thing. And when they say like negativity is like a disease and it spreads very quickly.
Yeah.
When you actually have that awareness to step back for a bit and you watch how one small negative comment or conversation actually just spreads so quickly.
Yeah, it sure does.
Like, everyone is now on the negative hate train, and all it can take to break that pattern sometimes is one person to go, hey, but actually the silver lining in this is this.
Yeah.
Because once you go down that dark hole of that negativity, it's really hard to get out of it.
Yeah.
And I think if you know how to be grateful and practice gratitude, that's what's going to pull you out of those negative dark holes.
100%. I cannot agree with that more. It's if you want to foster a positive mindset, reduce your stress, and improve your overall mental well-being, you have to be grateful for things in life. There's no, like, humans crave a couple of things, and that's attention, right? Attention's number one. Negativity creates attention, so people will latch on that because they get, like, how many people do you know out there that will hear something about someone and they'll want to tell everybody because it's a negative thing? But if
they see something that someone's doing and they're like, oh my God, did you see that?
Yeah.
And then the next person's like, no, what happened?
And in retrospect, when someone does something really awesome or be successful,
it goes unnoticed.
Fucking either unnoticed, or they pick at him. This bastard doesn't deserve this and that. I just think, for me, socially, like, being grateful has made me a better father, a better husband. There's
still going to be times where you really have to practice gratitude. It doesn't just come naturally. It gets easier if you if you are grateful more often than not. It gets easier to remind yourself of the things that you're grateful for in the times. But it's like, we're all still human.
Yep.
We're all still going to have times where things are going to go wrong. We're going to feel a certain way. We're probably going to feel quite negative towards things, but just bringing that awareness to, okay, now I need to stop. I've had my moment. I've had my feelings. I can't sit in this for too long anymore. What am I grateful for? And now let's keep moving forward.
Yeah, definitely. I think gratitude helps you focus away from what's lacking in life to what's present, and
what's to look forward to.
Yeah, and it promotes resilience as well. Like, to be honest, if we don't focus on the negativity and we can get some sort of positive outlook on things, it's promoting resilience. Like, shit's going to happen to us, right? My favorite quote that I invented ever is, shit is going to hit the fan. It's up to us whether we turn the fan on and get covered in shit, right? That's gratitude. Wow. Right? That's gratitude.
That's a very good picture in my head.
Right? You turn the fan on, you get covered in shit. So don't turn the fan on. Clean it off and move on. That's gratitude, right? That's positive outlook in life. The shit is always going to hit the fan. Don't turn the fucking fan on. If you want to be optimistic, you want to improve your overall emotional connections and your physical health, like, there is nothing better than being grateful for waking up, being a mobile, healthy, active. Yeah, it's the best thing for your mental well-being. So is it important? Fuck yes. 100% it's important.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely agree.
I'm having trouble focusing on my goals. What can I do? if you're having trouble focusing on your goals, I think you're either, you don't have goals or you don't revisit your goals.
Your goals don't align with what you actually want.
Yeah, they don't align with what you actually want, or your goals are way too big and you're not breaking them down. There's nothing wrong with having a big vision, but if you don't have the little steps in the middle to get to the bigger picture, you can't go from here to here without doing these little things in between, right? That big jump never happens. It's like weight loss. Weight loss doesn't go from here to here. It steps down and up and around and has all these little shit jaggers in the middle. It's not linear. Life's not linear, right? Shit happens.
Something that I like to think of too is, focusing on the goal, like it's like the end game. Sometimes you can lose sight of the end game, or sometimes the end game changes.
It does, yeah.
Your goals are always going to change. For me, I like to actually remind myself of why I started. Instead of focusing on the goal, sometimes it's more, why did I do this? Why did I start? What was the reason for that? And then that actually creates that focus again of, now I know what I need to do.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So the distance at the end game, why am I here right now? What have I done so far that I'm proud of? Like, how did I feel 6 months ago? How did I feel 12 months ago? What was the reason for me wanting to do this? Do I want to go back to that? Because if I don't keep focused and I don't keep moving forward, that's where I'm going. I'm going backwards.
Yeah, definitely. I can't agree with that more. I honestly can't agree with that more. Sometimes we've got to take the focus off the bigger picture. You can't get to the top of the staircase without taking one step at a time. Right? So the top of the staircase, let's be absolutely layman's about this, is your goal. I've got to get to the top. How do I get to the top? One step at a time. So we've got a series of small, manageable tasks that we can do to get to the big goal. Okay. And then when we get to the big goal, we have another big goal. We'll probably have another set of stairs to climb. But if you're having trouble focusing, you need to prioritize your tasks based on importance and deadlines. Like that's one thing, depending on what the goals are. Minimize your distractions. Most people have trouble focusing because they've got so many distractions in their life, or they've overcompensated their goals and put too many on there. And happens to me a lot. I'm very ambitious, and I had a goals list of 20 things the other day, and my coach says to me, hey, break it down to 5. What's the 5 things you can work on now and do that? The rest of it can happen later on. If you're having trouble focusing, you might need a break. You might need a deload week, or, a week away from not focusing on it. Just do some mundane things to get your mind back in the game. But, yeah, for me, if you don't have goals in life, like, it's a waste of all this ammunition. Like, have a couple of goals. You don't have to be. I don't want to be a billionaire.
Yeah, either. Like, at all. Everyone's life is different. Whatever feels good for you is enough. Like, some people want to push for more all the time. And if that aligns with them, that's great.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not someone that's like, I've got to have this or I've got to have that in my life. That's great as well. But what are you working towards? You've got to find something to work towards.
Yeah, agreed.
Huge. It doesn't have to be like, I'm going to completely change my life and in 12 months. The small goals are the good goals as well.
Yep, and they give you hits of endorphin because you complete a task, right?
Yeah.
That's the one way you're going to keep being motivated is do the mundane stuff, get the goals ticked off, then you get discipline in place, then you get momentum, and then you get motivation. So if you're having trouble focusing, break your goals down to smaller steps. Make sure the goals are attainable goals. Prioritize the tasks, minimize your distractions. There are a few things that I can do, but revisit them more often than don't do a 12-month goal and don't revisit it and come out to the end of the year and go, oh, fuck, I didn't do this 12-month goal. Wasn't important, was it?
Exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely wasn't important. So yeah, take your mind off the top of the staircase and focus on the steps.
Yeah. Love that.
Yep. Couple questions ago. Are the claims and benefits for apple cider vinegar true or legit? Are the claims and benefits for apple cider vinegar legit? Look, I don't know enough about apple cider vinegar and the claims and all the stuff about that. I do know it's an acid. I do know that if you consume an excessive amount of it, it can foster some sort of imbalance in your gut because your gut's got acids in there that want to break down food. Is it a miracle solution for anything? No. If you feel good taking it and it's helping, cool, that's great. And if you want to do your apple cider vinegar and lemon in the morning and you feel all energized and, bumping around, and great. I don't have a problem with it if it's a placebo for you. But I think an excessive consumption of any sort of acid will definitely fuck up your digestive system some way. And also your teeth. You've got to remember, acidic stuff in your teeth all the time can take all the enamel off, and you might be visiting the old...
That's a really good point to make, actually, because I was reading something the other day, and it was like about the apple cider vinegar shots in the morning, blah 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 blah, and there was like a disclaimer that said something about, and make sure you drink it through a straw. And I was like, what is that?
Yeah.
And it was to do with breaking down the enamel on your teeth. And I'm like, wow, okay, so like we're creating different health issues here.
Yeah, correct.
Something that, like you said, I don't know enough about it to know if there's a huge benefit.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's been that big of a benefit over the time people have tried it.
It'd be worth
a massive difference in your weight loss or your overall health. Like,
no, definitely.
50 cheeseburgers a day and then you're shotting. It's not like, you need to be realistic. It's not going to make you.
No, it's not something that it will just drastically drop 20 kilos overnight. Definitely not going to happen. If you enjoy doing it and it's making you feel good, go for it.
Like, think about the marketing side of things too. This is something that I like to look at these days, is how are things marketed?
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times these things are marketed towards people that are overweight or, like a bit more of the holistic weight loss side of things. And I'm not against any of that at all, but
yeah, I agree.
Have to look at the big companies that are behind them.
Yeah, true.
Money-based, that they're trying to shove these things in your face and give you all this information because they know that they can sell it, or like, are they getting you to just like eat just normal foods that are not from a packet?
Yeah.
Like, if you like vinegar on your food, get apple cider vinegar and give your salad a splash with it, or like, you don't have to go without it, but I don't know, just sit back and have a look at the marketing behind it.
That's a valid point. It's a valid point. And most of these influencers that are doing this shit have got some sort of link in their bio to,
and they get paid
10% off. Yeah. No, look.
Code.
Yeah. Are the claims legit? I don't know. I can't answer that question. But the benefits for me would be if it's making you feel good
and do your own research, proper research.
I know a guy that I train with who has cayenne pepper every morning in his creatine because he likes the taste of cayenne pepper. Right, cayenne pepper is a natural, what do they call it? Like a fat burner, but it heats up your body a little bit quicker because it's chili, right? Yeah. Is it doing anything for him? Probably not, but he likes it and it feels good, and he doesn't do pre-workout. So, I don't have a problem with that. It's natural. It's natural. Apple cider vinegar is natural. But my guess is watch your teeth and watch your guts. I love
drink through a straw.
Yeah, drink it through a straw. If you're gonna have apple cider vinegar, shots. Just make sure you'll probably get drunk quicker too if you drink it through a straw.
I make you lose weight quicker.
Yeah, you will
do that one.
Yeah, so you will lose weight quicker if you drink apple cider vinegar through a straw. That's me. I'm Mr. Fitness influencer. I'll be in my scrunch bum tights today, and I'll do a no, don't listen to me. Good question, but sorry, don't know the answer to it. This one, what's the difference between front squats and back squats? All right. Back squats, I like to remember back being bum, like your backside, your posterior. Back squats are really
driving down with the back, like your muscles in your back as well, like you're using them. It's not just leg focused, is it?
Yeah, you are. Yeah, so your posterior chain is engaged from pretty much, well, when you retract your shoulder back, you're obviously using your shoulder to form a shelf. Back being bum. So I just like to say back is your posterior chain. So where your weight's pushing that way, you're focusing on your back, your glutes, and your hammies. Front squats target your quads and your core, like your front front being front. So yeah, your quads and your core. So think about your muscles. I might even do a stand up here. Front muscles all the way down is your front squat because your weight's forward and you're pushing up. Back squat is your posterior chain. There's my little booty with a twerk. I got more viewers there. So yeah, that's the biggest difference between front squats and back squats. I find front squats a lot more uncomfortable to do because I don't have really good flexibility in my shoulders. So I have to hold them like crossed arm with the bar across here. A lot of people do them like that, which is cool, but I just don't have the flexibility in my shoulders to do it. I find it really hard. Are there variations of front and back squats? If there is, you can do kettlebell, you can do
and I would suggest if you're starting out as well, don't just go straight to front squats.
No, that's correct.
It takes much more stability.
Yeah.
And it's like you said, it's an awkward sort of position.
Yeah.
I mean, back squats is exactly the same as well, but I think that it's a bit more safer if you're just starting out.
Yeah, you're right.
Get that stability within like your whole body to go down, get the depth and push back up without having to then balance yourself, because having the weight on the front of you is naturally going to tip you forward a bit.
Yeah.
I just think it's much,
especially with the barbell, because the weight's not centralized. The barbell weight is out. So if you want to do front squats to start off with, do a goblet squat, which is holding a kettlebell or a dumbbell in front with your arms locked in and doing a squat that way. It's much more safer. If the weight wants to give, you can just drop. Whereas if you've got front squats, you've got the weight like outside of your body, and it makes it a lot harder to do. So, yeah, if I was beginning, I wouldn't be doing it with the barbell straight away. But yeah, front squats are a bit more gentle on the back because it's front focused, and the placement's different. But both of them have different techniques and benefits for your legs, and would be a great addition to Leslie's booty program.
Yeah.
So, yeah, hopefully that answers the question. That's just the main difference of front and back squats. Front, muscles, back posterior. Hopefully that makes sense. How do I stay consistent and motivated if my partner isn't supportive of what I do with the gym?
Get rid of them.
Yeah, that's
you're out. No.
Like this is an emotionally really tough question to answer.
Yeah, and I think this is very, very, very common.
Yes,
for a lot of people, especially when they're first starting out.
We have to remember that if we're not open with communication with our partner, the question is, how do I stay consistent and motivated if my partner isn't supportive? If we're not opening up communication with our partner about our goals and why we're doing it, how are they going to know how to support you? Okay, regardless of if they're an asshole or not, or they don't care, or they're overweight. Regardless, right? You've got to be open with communication. You've got to say, hey, XYZ, I want to do this thing because I feel like shit. It's really hurting me to look at myself. I'm so depressed. I can't even simply tie my shoe up. I need to do something that's going to make me feel better, and I need to hit the gym. And my goals are this reason. Okay, I've done it.
Why their support is important. Like, involve them in.
Yeah.
Your support is important with this, because without your support, you can do it, but it makes it much more difficult. And it gives you more of a reason to give up when it gets tough.
Yeah.
But yeah, take them along with you. If they're happy to get into the gym, involve them.
Yeah.
Come with me. If they don't want to get into the gym, don't push them. But really, the open communication is super important. But
definitely.
In some cases, if you sit down and talk to your partner and you are open with them, in some cases, your partner might turn around and go, I don't give a shit about that.
There's a huge possibility.
That's what you want to do. That's not what I want to do. And it may cause a bit of conflict.
I'll pose you this, right? How can someone support something you want to do if they do not know why you want to do it? Like if my wife come to me and said, hey, I'm going to go and do fucking jiu-jitsu, I'm like, why would be my first question. What the fuck? You don't do jiu-jitsu with those nails, right?
Well, maybe she can.
No, but if and I would say why, and then she would say, if she said, I feel like it's going to be a deeper connection with my blah 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 blah, and I'm like, fuck yeah, I'll support you, no problem. Like, what can we do to help? Like, that's me because I'm a supportive dude. But how do I stay consistent and motivated if my partner isn't supportive? Is the question. Well, there's a couple of ways we can do this. Number one, find some friends that will. Find someone, other family members,
behind you.
Find a coach or a community that will push you to your goals and that are supportive. Okay, number one, that's something you can do pretty quickly. Number two, if none of that's around, no one else is going to fucking save you. So focus on why you're motivated, focus on your discipline, what's your commitment levels for yourself, internally validate yourself, like, be proud of who you are and what you're doing. Write down your goals.
It's important to have those goals as well. Yeah. We were talking about before, having those goals and reminding yourself of them each day. Have them written down somewhere.
Yeah.
My goals are this because of this.
Yep.
That's going to keep you motivated, and that's going to help the consistency. When you don't have that support around, you're backing yourself. And I think there's a bit of a good lesson there. If you don't have supportive people around you, yeah, of course, find a group of supportive people. But if you can't find that, there's a huge lesson there. Back yourself.
Yeah.
Only you can be there for you. Only you can back yourself. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many supportive people are behind you. If you don't support yourself, it's never going to work. Never going to work.
Absolutely, Erin. Absolutely. This journey of life, regardless if you have a great partner or you have no partner, it's a solo journey.
Yeah.
Right? It's a fucking solo journey. There are people out there that do not have kids or family. There are people out there that have an abundance of family. But at the end of the day, if all that was taken away from you,
who are you as a person?
Solo journey. So you have to rely on internal motivation or discipline to get yourself through. You have to rely on self-belief and self-love. And that's super, super important. So if you do not have a supportive partner, you've got to dig deep and find out why. Why? Why? Oh, that's terrible. Why? Like, why? You've got to find out your why. And my definition of why, W-H-Y, is what heals you, right? What heals you? Yeah, what heals you? For me, non-negotiables are training. Non-negotiables are nutrition. They're my non-negotiables in life. I need them in my life for my mental health. And they make me motivated, disciplined. I'm very lucky to have a supportive partner. But we're open and honest with communication, and I know why she needs to train, and she knows why I need to train. So we support each other. But that's open communication. So if you do not have a supportive partner, you got to dig deep, 100%.
Yeah, focus on you.
That's the best way. I know it's a touchy subject, and not everyone out there has a partner that's very supportive. But
if you don't, it's reach out to someone that will support you. Like if someone's watching this and you're not a part of the academy, like just reach out.
Yeah.
If you want someone to back you, reach out or start working out how to do it for yourself as well.
100% start working out how to do it for yourself. But like I said before, the likelihood for someone to support you, if they're a decent human being, if you tell them the reason why, they will get behind you. But you've got to be specific with your reason why. I need to do this for this reason. My mental health is shot. I need to. My body feels like shit. Like I need to. You've got to be open and transparent, and you've got to have a why. W-H-Y. What heals you?
Yeah.
Cool. How do I keep my diet and nutrition interesting if I'm on a budget? How do I keep my diet and nutrition interesting if I'm on a budget? Great question, and very relevant to current market conditions.
Ridiculous grocery prices.
Like fucking Coles and Woolies are just absolute robbers, man. They're fucking robbers.
Rick came with me the other day, and he hasn't been like proper, like a full grocery shop with me for a very long time. And he literally, like, we got to the end of it, and the look on his face, and I just looked at him, and I'm like, you haven't done groceries with me for
it's not.
Like, holy crap, I could not believe that. Like, that's not that much food.
No, it's
and
terrible.
Then the kids, he's like, now I know why you keep telling him, stop eating.
Yeah, but so the irony of all this is, right, I never shopped at Aldi because I fucking hate packing my groceries. But I always go to the self-checkout at Woolies and Coles,
Anyway,
right?
yeah.
How dumb's that? So I have shaved $150 a week off my groceries by going to Aldi, right? 100%. I'm not an advocate for Aldi, and I'm not getting paid to say this. Just putting a disclaimer out there. But if Aldi want to swing a couple of bucks my way, go if you like.
Discount code.
Hashtag Aldi, yeah, 10% off. No, but that's been huge. So $150 a week is massive. Okay, that's been filling your car now, right?
I think it's simple. If you want to make things interesting, it doesn't mean that it has to be like some ridiculous 500 ingredient meal.
Yeah.
Switch up the fruits that you use. Switch up the vegetables you use. Switch up the meats that you use. That's how I keep it interesting. I'm like a creature of habit. I like to eat the same things kind of all the time. And then I know exactly how much my grocery shop's going to be.
Yeah, definitely.
So I have a budget for it.
Totally agree with that. And I think planning helps.
Yeah.
Planning your meals at the start of the week will help minimize food waste and the amount of ingredients you need to cook. If you use the rule of thirds that we talk about, now if you don't know what the rule of thirds are, is your plate should look like a third protein, a third fiber, and a third carbohydrates. Okay, so let's just put it into perspective. Chicken breast, some potatoes, and broccoli, beans, cauliflower, carrots, corn, whatever like that. Okay, simple meals. They're simple. The best way to jazz them up, bit of sauce, bit of spice. Okay, so if we're simplifying down, we're on a budget. If we plan ahead, the likelihood is we can buy chicken in bulk. Now, if you're not conscious about where your chickens are grown, you can save money by not doing organic breast. Okay, and with your eggs, cage versus cage free. I mean, we got to remember before all this came out, we were surviving on caged chickens and caged eggs. It's just inhumane. I get that. Okay,
don't get me started there. I grew up on a chicken farm.
No, exactly right. No, sorry, I've got to put that out there because people want to save money. Okay, I understand the value of organic stuff. I grow my own vegetables in the garden.
Yeah, and
I love growing my own vegetables.
I have to say, another good way to stay on a budget is you can go and buy like small portable like raised veggie gardens.
Yep.
I put lettuces in my veggie garden a couple of weeks ago, and the old plastic Coles bags.
Yep.
Actually, like I had lettuce and spinach. I had that much of it. I filled up 3 Coles bags.
Wow.
And handed them to my neighbors because I'm like, I physically can't eat all of this because it's just going to go to waste.
Yeah.
So that's another good way. Grow your own.
Yep.
That's obviously not going to keep it interesting, but that's a good way to keep it budgeted.
Definitely. Yep. Frozen veggie packets, right?
Yeah.
They're a lot cheaper than buying normal, but still, it's just frozen veggies. There's no additives in there. They're just frozen so they don't go out of date. Okay. Canned.
Wasting it. I don't know how many times I've brought vegetables and before you even get to use them, they go off. And sometimes that might be because they sit there for a long time. Sometimes that might be because you've just brought dodgy fruit or vegetables from the shop that have already been sitting there for a very long time.
Yeah, definitely.
I love frozen vegetables. I don't often buy fresh vegetables anymore because it's just convenient to buy the frozen. If I feel like or something like that, I did like a whole roasted cauliflower the other night, stuff like that. I just buy it specifically for what I want. The rest is just frozen veggies.
Like a hot tip with cauliflowers and stuff, if you've got that little bit left over in the fridge, it's not enough to cook, fucking freeze it or bash it up into a cauliflower rice and chuck it in the freezer. I do it with berries, right? Berries go off quick these days for some reason. It's ridiculous. If you have those strawberries that aren't quite gone past, but they're a little bit, dodge and you don't want to eat them, chuck them in the freezer and put them in a smoothie. That's a way of saving money because you're just going to throw them away. There's no point in throwing them away. Go to markets. You can get fruit and veggies at a significantly reduced price if you go to markets or discount sort of type places. I love a good fruit and veg market.
Too. Take the kids, take the partner.
Yeah. Don't shop when you're hungry is a good tip because you tend to eat too much shit. But just be simple. Be simple in your cooking techniques and stuff. So
let's switch it up, get interesting and fun with I know a lot of people like mango with like certain meat and like vegetables and things like that. Try different flavors.
Yeah.
Grilled mango, grilled banana, like
Yeah.
you know, smoke a piece of corn on the cob, like just it doesn't have to be like 500 ingredients at all.
Simplify your life and you'll simplify your budget. End of story.
And you can keep it interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I've got to go, guys. Thanks for joining us today. I really appreciate it. I'll catch you guys on the same time next week.